Black skin, black sauce, black Jesus, black music, black skin, black sauce, black Jesus, black music, black skin.
I'm from Dominican Republic.
Dominican Republic.
Where y'all from?
What about you?
Nigerian and Norwegian.
Word. What about you?
Trinidad.
Which one's Norwegian?
My father's Nigerian, my mom's Norwegian.
That's a bet. All right. Which y'all believe in the Bible?
Yeah.
Say it away.
Hey, so you said you're from where?
Dominican Republic.
You said you're from Nigeria. You said you're from where? Trinidad. So if a cop come over and talk to y'all, what he'd say all of y'all? Black. He say you black. What color you think? Black. What color you? So what color is your shirt? Black. What color you? Brown. So are any of you black? So you might hear African American. You might have been to Africa. Y'all never been to Africa, right? Can you be an African and an American at the same time? You're one or the other. Are there white people in Africa? Yeah. If one of them comes here and has a baby here, is that baby African American? The baby's white, right? So we got to go by our nationality, what our true nationality is, right? But none of us know what our nationality is, because you said you from Dominican Republic. Who came up with that name, Dominican Republic? Was it the people that from?
I'm not sure.
You know the history of?
I know.
My people are from Haiti, so we.
I know a little bit of the history of like the colonization.
Yeah.
Kai knows a lot about that because he took a class about it.
Do you know what it means?
Huh?
Dominican.
Huh?
Do you know what Dominican means?
No.
Dog of God. That's what it meant in Spanish, Dominicanos. So they were calling you guys dogs of God.
Hey, get that.
Byword, 28, 30, 37. Yeah, I get it.
I got it.
All right. And you're what? You said Trinidad? Yeah. So you're Benjamin. Y'all was cutting sugar cane together and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Your people in Africa, you said Nigerian.
So West Coast of Africa.
What do you know what Nigerian tribe you are?
Igbo.
Perfect. You know what Igbo means? Hebrew. All of those mean something. For the Hispanics to call y'all, you know, a heathen of God, and then for y'all to be Hebrews in your native tongue, right? That means that all of your nationalities go back to the people of the Bible. So he's about to teach you about what that means, because the school's not doing it. I bet.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword.
So, if you want to hide something from a black man, where do you put it?
You ever heard that expression?
For real? Are we that old?
They young, so I guess they not saying it no more.
You want to hide something from a black man, you put it in a book. That's what they tell people. So you would never hear that, because you hid it from me in a book.
That's why y'all hate to read.
You called Dominican, Nigerian, Trinidadian, Haitian, Black American,
Native American.
These are all bywords.
Nigga.
Nah, he's a Dominican or Puerto Rican or something.
Oh, I didn't say what he is.
Yeah.
He's a cameraman, you know what I'm saying? So these are all bywords. That's not your true nationality. You don't know what your nationality is. This book used to be in the school systems. If you go back about, 80 years now? This book was in the school system. They had to teach you from this book. They don't teach you from this book because you might have read something in here that pertained to you, and you would have realized that you're someone in this book. Give me 76.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy power. And the Lord thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So the Bible teaches that there are people on this planet that are better than everybody else. I know when people go to church, they preach, we are the world. Can we all just get along? Kumbaya. The Bible doesn't preach that. The Bible preaches that God loves one people and hates everybody else. Somebody give it a shotgun too.
Hold up, before you go into that, can we elaborate on it a little bit? As far as them being better than people? Oh, okay. No. I'm talking about the better than people part.
Yeah, go ahead.
Y'all watch basketball sports?
Yeah.
What's your favorite? Y'all like basketball or football more?
Basketball.
Huh? He said football. They said football, so I'm gonna go with the football just because majority rules.
I like basketball too, bro.
Oh, you said, all right, baby. So two basketball. All right, I'm sorry, brother. That's how it is. So look, basketball, right? Who's your favorite basketball player?
Damian Lillard.
Damian Lillard. All right.
I'll go ahead, KD.
Why y'all didn't say Luka?
Why y'all ain't say Luka? Yeah, exactly.
Christoph Porzingis. Why ain't y'all say that?
Why y'all ain't say the white boy? Huh?
Luka is nice, yo. Luka's tough.
Luka's tough, but he's not your favorite, right?
Yeah, because I don't even know.
He didn't do anything crazy.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why, right? Do you think he can beat Damian Lillard one-on-one?
You think he could beat LeBron?
So look, it's always gonna be somebody of our nation better than them, right? When it comes to sports, whether it's baseball, soccer, boxing, wrestling, right? Whatever it is, it's always one of us that ends up being better than them, no matter how high they try to make the Great White Hope, right? They always gonna have a Stone Cold Steve Austin, but it's always gonna be The Rock. You know what I'm saying? They always gonna have a John Cena, but it's gonna be Bobby Lashley or something, right? So that's what we got. You know what I'm saying? It's always gonna be one of us versus one of them. Go ahead.
And that's not just physical, that's mental too. If you look at all inventions, if you look at patent books, black people invented everything. The cell phone that you use, everything.
Refrigerator.
These people are parasites. They don't build anything, they just
Take credit.
take credit for everything. So slaves actually built everything that is in a modern world. So what we're teaching is that our people are above all other people, and that's what the Bible teaches. There is no kumbaya.
The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6 and verse 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures. Of him come we all.
Because people like to say we all come from Adam and Eve, so we're all the same, right? The Bible says the same thing. We all come from Adam and Eve. Read.
And the people also whom thou hast chosen.
So the people that he chose, the special people, also come from Adam and Eve. Read.
All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
But he made the world that we live on for the sake of the Israelites. Read.
As for the other people, which also come of Adam,
All of these other people you see these white people right behind you, they also come from Adam and Eve. Read.
They might be Jacob.
thou hast said that they are nothing,
But the Bible says that they're nothing. Read.
but be like unto spittle.
But be like spit. So if you spit on the floor, that's what God thinks of these other nations.
Did y'all
It's
catch
not
that?
just white people. It's every other nation outside of the 12 tribes of Israel. Read.
And has likened them, has likened the abundance of them
And liking all of them. So you take all the Chinese, all the white people, all the Arabs, put them all together. Read.
unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
He correlates them to a drop that falls out the vessel. So if I have a vessel of water and a drop falls out, that's what he thinks of all the other nations.
Who cares
They're
about that
worthless.
drop?
They're not important. But we look at the other nations like we want to get like them. Meanwhile, they're trying to be like you. They're trying to be like Mike, Jordan Jackson, Action Jackson. They're trying to be like, everybody wants to be a black person. They really don't want to be. They just envy. You know what I'm saying? So we have to look and see that we have a crown on our head. We're supposed to be above all other people. Let's stop being beneath them. Stop following in their trends. As much as we are trendsetters, we set their trends. And their trends are evil. Like when I was young, we used to wear our pants down our ass like this with big baggy pants. Until a brother at a prison told me what that came from. You know, it comes from being some gay shit, right? And it comes from butt breaking and slavery. So I stopped doing it. But our people keep it. Not everybody had that knowledge. Our people keep doing these things that are destroying us. We got to fall out of what destroys us and go back to what's going to build us up. What's going to build you up is the Bible. I feel like you're a little bored. I don't want to bore you.
No, you're not.
Y'all got YouTube? You got YouTube?
Oh, yeah, YouTube.
You got YouTube? Anointed House of Saints on YouTube. When you have time, but you're going to sit right here because you said you weren't bored. So, give me Devin.
Zephaniah 2:1.
Yeah, give me Zephaniah 2:1.
While he getting that, how do y'all feel about knowing that you're above all people on the planet?
It's like a double, like, cause like, I mean, it's theoretically you should feel good that you're above everybody else, but at the same time, it also doesn't feel right knowing that like you're above it. You know what I mean?
That's what I wanted to know. See, so what doesn't feel right about it? Because
It's like, because you should theoretically feel like you're not better than everybody else. Like, everybody should be equal, right?
so let me ask you
We're
this.
taught to think everyone is equal.
Exactly. You're taught to think that, right? But here's a question, right? If you a millionaire, billionaire, Bill Gates, right? Let's say you live in Elon Musk is more your age. Let's go Elon Musk, right? So let's say you live in the life of Elon Musk. Does Elon Musk care about all the people that got less money than him? Huh? He only worried about what he got and what his family got going on, right? Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Kanye West, right? They don't give a damn about what everybody else got going on. You know what I'm saying? They worried about what they got going on because of the certain status they have. They know that they're above certain people, right? So why, when we're at a low state, we always feel like if we were to get high above people, it'd be wrong to be that way. But the people that's high above us don't feel like it's wrong for them to be high above us, right? So it's like a psychological training almost that they got us going through. They train you to make you think it's bad to be better, right? Because if we realized we was better, they wouldn't be able to stay over us, right? The Bible talks about it being a curse that the nation that was the head is now the tail, and the nations that were the tail are now the head, right? So for them to stay above us, what they have to do? They have to keep us in a mind state to where it's wrong for us to get better than them, right? It's wrong for us to be better than they are. So you got to get out of that mind state because it's keeping us below them, right? Go ahead.
Do you respect Chinatown?
You ever been there?
Respect Chinatown? You respect Italians coming together, building up their community? You respect Jewish people sticking together, building up their community? So God is telling you to respect His people and build up your community. You're better than all the other people. Those people feel like they're better than you, and they have no problem saying it. We're the only people that feel like we need to be equal with everybody else, because you have equity in your mind. You have equality in your mind. You want people to be loving towards you. No other people want that. They want to stand above everyone else. You need to have that because you're in rulership. You're a king. A king needs to have that mindset, not the mindset of getting along with a peasant. The scriptures say that like the slave owner would be on a horse, and king.
You got servants.
That's the story.
Which one?
Yeah,
Servants walking as men, and servants on horses. I'll get it for you. I'll find it for you.
Come. Get Zephaniah for me.
I was just right there. You got it?
Yeah, I get it.
All right.
So our people need to do that. What I said, like come together. If you look in the history books, we had Rosewood, we had
Greenberry Pines, Black Wall Street, had the joining. I forget what they called it in Lake Lanier, but I know Lake Lanier used to be a black town that they flooded. They don't even teach you that in school. We live in Georgia. That used to be a whole city.
Underneath that lake, yo, you can see it. Like,
Yeah, if you ever swim in it, you can see everything under there. If you put some goggles on and stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's like Atlantis.
So as much as you thinking about equality, the other nations are not. Because as soon as you get something, they will destroy it. They will destroy you. If you go down any one of these blocks to where it's hood, all of those buildings that you see that are vacant and are fucked up, a white man owns it. And he's gonna keep it like that until he can demolish the entire neighborhood, kick your granny out, and move in their gay little cousin. That's what they do. That's gentrification. So on our part, we need to do the same thing. Stick together. Yeah, definitely.
This is Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yeah, gather together, O nation not desired.
So the Bible is telling us to gather together, O nation not desired. Not just Trinidadians, not just Nigerians, not just Haitians, not just Dominicans. All of the people that are scattered abroad, God's chosen people, need to come together because we all we got. Ain't nobody gonna look out for our children except for us. You know what I'm saying? Our people were given curses because we don't follow the Bible. And that's what we're living in now. That's what today's times are. The curses that because we didn't listen. Like I read to you 7 and 6, it told you that you would be above all nations, but you would only be above all nations if you follow His rules. Your dad's living in the house? Your dad live at home?
No, my parents are divorced. I have a stepdad.
Your dad live at home? Your dad live at home? No? Those are curses in the Bible because we wouldn't follow the Bible. But you have a stepdad? You got to follow his rules? You gotta follow your dad's rules. You gotta follow your mom's rules, right? But God has rules, and we didn't follow them. So we didn't follow him. He kicked us out of heaven. He kicked us out of our seat, and now he got us serving the lowest people on the face of the planet. Wonder why they're the lowest people on the face of the planet? Because God made them that. God made them to be destroyed by life. They are the only people destroyed by life. You go outside, gotta put on sunblock. That don't make sense. The sun is here to give life. The trees grow from the sun. You grow from the sun. But they die from the sun. Because they like the anti-life equation. I don't know. They anti-life. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta come back to who we are and what we are. Y'all got any questions?
Let me say something real quick, right? We out here telling our people, right? The so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native Americans, that we are the children of Israel. You know what I'm saying? That's our true nationality, like you were just telling me. You know what I'm saying? Like you talked about black, you talked about African American, you talked about all these other bywords and proverbs and all that stuff. But we have to understand that this book is not just about religion. It's actually a history that we had throughout these ages, throughout these years. We've lost ourselves. So that's why we call these different names. So we want everybody to get back to who we are. You know what I'm saying? Look, you got a wife or a girlfriend? Nah, none of y'all got girlfriends? Y'all like girls?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. We're going to clarify that.
You know,
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta ask him.
You know,
Dwayne
gotta
Wade's
ask that.
son and shit. We never
Man,
know these
it's
days.
crazy out here. Just be standing out here right now. We just seen
Hold
him.
on, what grade are y'all in? How old are you?
Sophomore.
In high school?
15 years.
Okay.
We just seen the dude walking out here and was
Yeah.
dressed up full like a woman.
Oh yeah, we saw.
We
What
in
school y'all
Atlanta,
go to?
bro. It's
We
crazy.
were boarding school in Mass.
We're not from.
Oh, boarding school.
Where
We're
from?
here. We're from. Well, I'm from Massachusetts.
What's that like these days? Is it a all boys school or boys and
boys
girls?
and girls.
Okay. Cool.
And it's like a prep school. It's a boarding school. We board there.
Blacks and whites or just blacks or what?
Mainly white people. Mainly
Mainly white people.
Yeah.
Oh, so y'all okay,
All
so
y'all
got
go
you.
to the same school?
Yeah, but we
yeah,
but we from different places.
Yeah.
So, is there sports there? Y'all get to play sports?
Yeah.
I went to a school like that.
Yeah, definitely
it
stick
wasn't
together.
a boarding school, but my high school was 112 blacks and Hispanics in a school of 1,500. So we had to stick together. I understand that. That's different nights.
All right. That's all I wanted to know. I just wanted to know like how old y'all was, where y'all at.
Hey, but that's what we were talking about. Go ahead.
Okay.
But that's what we was talking about, man. We was talking about what we need to do moving forward. The key, because we went into curses, but we really didn't. I don't know if we really showed y'all what it all meant. The key is that right. Our father, the person who established a specific lineage or specific bloodline, right? He established these people. You know what I'm saying? And he's telling us, I want y'all to do this, that, and the third. I want y'all to abide by these laws. Now, if you got a girlfriend, I'm not supposed to try to sleep with your girl. Right? That's just right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not supposed to murder you or try to murder you. Right? Now, I'm not supposed to steal from you. Right? Now, if we can live like that, wouldn't we be better as a nation and as a society? But every song that we have is, I'm going to take your girl, I'm going to rob you, and I'm going to shoot you dead. That's become our culture and our history. That's become our culture. That's become who we are. But we want to change that narrative. We want to tell people that we're not that anymore. But actually people who love each other and who care about one another. That's the narrative we want to change. These are some answers for our community that we can actually practically add to our everyday life. You know what I'm saying? I see this bad chick, oh, you got a husband? Can't deal with you. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you got the bag, yo, you looking fresh. I'm not gonna plot and scheme on you. I'm gonna congratulate my brother for doing well. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna hate on you. Because that's what we've been dealing with for so long. But it's time to come out of that, man. Where you wanna go to with this? Yo, we living in a place of Babylon confusion, man. We were just talking about this.
I was gonna bring out Sirach, but I didn't want to pull out my pocket. When y'all
I got
y'all?
one right here. Which one?
Give me 17 and 11, just so I can show him. Because it was let me back on up what you said about history and everything. So when he was talking about our forefathers, so we got Jacob and Esau, right? Jacob is the forefather of the 12 tribes, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and the people that descend from them that were scattered in the slave trade, right? So slave trade, they took people away from Americas and they took people to the Americas, right? So the people that was taken, say, like I'm Native American, right? They had Squanto, which y'all will learn about when y'all learn more about Thanksgiving and stuff, right? He was a Native American from the Patuits. He got taken to England, right? With a bunch of other natives. So a lot of them that didn't get taken back over here, some of them are still over there in England, right? Some of them are scattered in other places because they was put into slavery and sent to other places like Norway or, you know, somewhere else, right? So there's different places like that, different people that have been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. But predominantly today, they would be descendants from so-called blacks, Hispanics, or Native Americans, right? So Jacob, being our forefather, he got certain laws, statutes, and commandments from the Most High, right? As opposed to, well, not as opposed, but as a result of Abraham's blessing. That's basically what the Bible's about. So that's why we got Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? Now, Jacob had a twin brother too. His twin brother was Esau. Esau is the so-called white man today, right? They were twins. So there was a black one and a white one, right? What they call a good twin and an evil twin, so to speak, right? So Esau ended up giving up his blessing, just in summary, right? And then threatened to kill Jacob. And that's basically where we are today. His, I guess, rendering of that was his blessing was being able to break the yoke of iron off his neck and being able to put us in captivity. And as you see, that's what happened. And now we've been put in slavery by the white man, right? So all of that is curses in the Bible. So what we out here teaching, and the reason we out here teaching what we were telling y'all is because the only way to get us out of that captivity is for 1/3 of the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to come back to the culture that they stopped following, right? So that's the reason it's important for us to come out here and teach this. So that's what it's about, you know what I'm saying? If y'all come back to the culture and heritage and we get more people from y'all generation that learn about who we are, stop trying to be niggas in America, stop trying to do the stuff that Lil Baby and Dub Baby is doing, stop trying to be babies, period, and be grown-ass men, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's the difference. That's what's going to get us up out of here, right? And eventually y'all will start to see our nation as a people will stop being the lowest and we'll start coming up. Because just like in Egypt, when they took over, we're going to do the same thing here. Saints shall take the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully y'all are included when that time comes.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Do y'all I know about Easter? Easter? Death of Jesus?
That's what they say.
That's what that. So you know what they worship with Easter, right? They keep Easter. I worship, but they keep Easter, right? Same thing with like Christmas. That's supposed to be what? The birth of Jesus, right? So what if we tell you that none of those things actually happen on those days? That Easter is in the Bible one time, but if you actually look into it and study it, it really means Passover,
Which is a feast. Culture for our
it's
people.
culture. It's our culture that they culture. What's the culture vultures?
Yeah, culture vultures.
They culturally appropriated, right? And they changed the name and they made it into idolatry. Our God told us to follow certain feast days, certain holy days, but now they're called holidays. You know what I'm saying? Even when it comes down to today, what's today? Y'all know? Y'all even read the Bible? Y'all know anything about the Bible?
Not too much. My grandmother's religious,
But we're not religious. We religiously study keep the law, but we're not religious in nationality. This is our culture. So
It's like you being an Igbo, right? When they have like Igbo rituals or something like that, when they have any type of Igbo ceremony, right? It's considered Igbo culture. When they coming out a book or whatever to read it, it's still considered Igbo culture. It's not religion, right? So that's what we're saying. The Bible is not a religious book. It's a cultural book. But they've been vultures. They've taken it and made it a religious thing.
yes. All right. So we've been taught, right, that we're supposed to keep these holidays, Christmas, but Christ wasn't born that day. That's a fact. He wasn't. He was born through our studies. He was born more like in the spring, the summertime, somewhere springtime. Through our studies, before we try to find out some of these things. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, when you have Easter, that's really supposed to be Passover, which God told us to keep after we came out of captivity in Egypt. He was just talking about that. You ever heard the story of Moses? You ever seen that movie? Yep. All right. So what I'm trying to get y'all to understand, right, that some of these laws are practical. We're telling you, keep these days, because I know later on in a long time from now, somebody else is going to tell you to do something different, right? That it says in the Bible. I'm gonna break this down.
Yeah, what you want?
Exodus 20. Let's get Exodus 20, man, and start at verse. Let's get some of the Commandments.
I had Leviticus 23 too. I
Let's
thought
get-
you was gonna go into that.
I was gonna get into that. I wanted Kanal to get into that.
Oh, okay.
Come on, you
Canoe,
bring
trying to
it
get
out.
you some film.
Yeah, he get quiet.
You said Exodus 20. You want me to start at 2?
Teach the young brothers.
Commandments. All right, I'll just start at verse 1. This is Exodus chapter 20, verse 1. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord, or Yahweh, thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, the house of bondage.
So Egypt means the house of bondage.
Out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
When you think of the 10 Commandments, people don't keep the 10 Commandments. As easy as they seem, they don't. Read that again.
Thou shalt have no other powers before me.
Because the first thing it tells you is you should have no gods before him. And the first thing they give you is a Jesus who is Cedro Borgias. You ever heard of the Borgias? It's a TV show on HBO. You can watch that. They're called the first crime family because when you break the first commandment, read that again.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
So the first God they gave you was
Y'all don't give me the word?
a Jesus.
Learn something?
You know, I'm doing
Verse 2. Oops, Salakia. 4. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
Thou shalt not make any graven image. The first thing you did was the cross. Read.
Or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water underneath the earth.
Read.
Thou shalt not bow thyself down to them, nor serve them. For
Now,
I am
we bow
Yahweh.
ourselves down to a lot of things. When we look at the what's that big carving that they had, the Rushmore thing.
Yeah, Mount Rushmore.
So we call them the founding fathers. So you're bowing yourself down to that big graven image of some white men who had you in slavery.
In Native American lands, too.
Yeah.
In Native American lands.
And also when you think of Jesus Christ, right? I'm sure none of y'all, when y'all pray at night, y'all think of a black man. You always see the white guy that they have up in the church, right? That's Cesare Borgia that he was just telling you about. That's an actual person that they made into the image of Jesus Christ. So that when we pray, instead of seeing, ourselves, because Jesus is a black man in the Bible, we see a white guy with blue hair, with blue eyes and brown hair. You know what I'm saying? So that's
worse?
part of the psychological.
What's worse than that? He was a homosexual. And he had sex with his sister.
He was a homosexual, he had sex with his sister, and he killed his older brother.
And that's who they give you as the
That's
image
Jesus Christ.
of Jesus.
The black man in the Bible that they call Jesus, his real name is Mashiach Yahushua. No Jesus at all. Letter J wasn't invented until 1524. So, all new. Verse 5. Thou shalt not bow thyself down to them, nor serve them. For I am Yahweh thy power. I am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation, unto them that hate me. Verse 6.
How do you hate God? Do you know how to hate God? How do you hate your parents? Don't respect your laws. That's how we hate God. He gave you laws. You don't respect them. You don't listen to your father, he's gonna kick you out the house. Tell you don't want to listen to me, get it on your own. And that's what happened to us. We didn't want to listen to him, he kicked us out. Read.
Verse 6. And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of Yahweh thy power in vain, for Yahweh will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain.
So a lot of these things that we do, like, it's not going to be taken in vain. It's going to come back to you. There is retribution. You understand? I'm trying to make it short.
You gotta speak up.
Verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6.
You got your phone on you? Go to the calendar real quick. You go to YouTube.
You should
You got a
probably go
calendar
to
in your
YouTube
hand?
too.
You got a phone? Yeah, both of y'all go to YouTube. What's the first day?
First day,
On the calendar.
week.
First day of the week.
Monday. Or Sunday.
The first day is what?
Sunday.
What's the last day?
Saturday.
Read. read it again.
Thou shalt remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
It says you're going to remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. The Sabbath day is the last day. It's the Sabbath, right? So that'd be what day? Saturday. But what day do people go to church? They keep Sunday holy, right? But you're going against God. God said keep the Sabbath day holy. We're out here in the streets going wild. Instead of keeping the Sabbath day holy, read.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work.
So you got 6 days to do whatever you want and whatever you have to do all your work to get prepared. Read.
But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt do no work. Thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant,
Nothing. You're supposed to be chilling, getting the word of the Lord. Right?
nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heaven and the earth, and the sea and all that is in them, and rested on the 7th day. Wherefore Yahweh blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy
Go ahead.
honor thy father and thy mother, that their days may be long upon the earth.
We don't honor our parents at all. Because the first time they tell you to keep your rules, you say, fuck you, Dad, I'm not listening to you. And he tells you to get out, you're not honoring your father. And now you're out on your ass by yourself, right?
Which Yahweh hath given thee. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery.
We kill it. We kill all the time. You know who we kill? Each other. Black people kill black people all the time.
Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false
Steal from each other. We bear false witness on each other.
against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house.
Like he was saying to you earlier, you're not supposed to be trying to. Y'all went to YouTube? Huh?
He wants you to go to YouTube and go to Anointed House of
Anointed
Saints.
House of Saints. Press subscribe.
That way, if y'all
Read.
miss anything, I can catch it. Manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's.
So you're
And-
not supposed to be trying to get what's your neighbor's.
That's it.
Y'all all go to the same school? You get them?
What's up, folks?
How you doing? How you doing?
Well,
We
teaching
teaching the Bible. Yes, you absolutely can.
basically what it is, just so y'all know, right?
Huh?
We're the Hebrew Israelites.
All you
So
want. Yeah, that's cool. Is this school for higher education, sports?
Yeah,
Higher education. All right. GPA.
What?
GPS.
GPA.
you don't do those.
You don't have a
GPA.
It's a boarding school, bro.
It's a little.
I don't know. I was on a short bus.
He's not lying. He really was.
You're not supposed to laugh at me. See that? Honor your parents. See what I'm talking about?
Now, but look, just so y'all know what we out here for, we the Israelites, right? Just for y'all that just came out here. So, basically, we just teaching that so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, according to the history, archaeology, and the Bible, they would be the people of the Bible, according to what the Bible says. So, the slavery that they went through, the transatlantic slave trade, the Atlantic slave trade, all of that is in the Bible as a curse. It's Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68 to the beginning. So, basically teaching the curses of the Bible, and that the people of the Bible have to come back to their culture and nationality and stop looking at this as a religion, because it's not a religion, it's actually our true culture. So, we got to get back to that in order for Jesus to come back and put us in our right spot.
Y'all study
The book
history?
says.
European history?
I'm taking that.
Huh?
I'm taking that right
You
now.
taking that right now? What era?
We started it in Renaissance, 1400.
Perfect!
We're at like French Revolution right now.
So, all right. So,
That's where we're at right now.
so I got to ask, with the Renaissance, what did they teach you guys about? Hold on, did they tell you what Renaissance means?
Like something about like just like a new beginning, like it's kinda
Rebirth,
like, yeah,
right?
New rebirth.
So let me ask you, what is the Renaissance a new birth of? The new beginning of?
Like it was supposed to be arts, really.
That's what they teach you, right?
Yeah.
But here's the lie. Give me second Maccabees. Is it first Maccabees 3 and 48?
Bring that out.
This is the reason why it's art that they talk about the Renaissance, right? So if you go into Greece, there's something called terracotta tiles, right? You can look this up. Y'all ever seen Hercules? When you look at the beginning of Hercules, you see these tiles and it's got black people in it, like cartoons almost, right? When they're doing the little dances and he's with the girls that be slipping the string, I don't know what they call it or whatever, but they got these terracotta tiles that have images of black people on them. That's because they were basically foreshadowing you to show you the proof. The original people of Greece were black people. They were what's their name? What's they called? I forget what they called. But they all had dreads, right? They're people of the man named Japhet. They're his descendants of the Bible, right? They were overtaken by the Macedonians, who were Alexander the Greek's people, right? Edomites, barbarians, if you will. And they came and they took them over and they called themselves the Greeks, right? So they assumed their identity, their nationality, kind of like the white men did with the Native Americans, right? Came over here, took my people's land, and then called themselves American. So same thing. Same thing in Africa, colonization, right? Apartheid in South Africa, Nigeria, West Africa, and East Africa, right? If you go to Egypt right now, it's not black people in Egypt no more. They're really light skinned, you know what I'm saying? Because of colonization. So it's been the same thing. That's the rebirth, the Renaissance, right? It was actually the rebirth of the white man and his new civilization on the earth, his conquering the planet, which was his blessing in the Bible as Esau, right? Everybody would get to reign, and then Esau gets to be the last reigner of the earth, gets to take over everything. Once Esau's reign is over, Jacob gets to reign, and then nobody else gets to take it from us again, right? Jesus is supposed to come back and put us on the top. So, give me that. I also wanted Malachi chapter 1. Want to say something?
Yeah, real quick. When he's saying rebirth, it's not rebirth. It's a rebirth from being called Esau, because that's what these people were called, Esau, to being called the white man.
Esau, Idumeans, Romans, Greeks, white man. It's been a stretch.
There was no such thing as the white man in the year 1300.
There's still no such thing as the white man. If you look at your shirt and then look at the guy behind me, he's clearly not the same color as your shirt, right? The reason we call them rednecks in the South is because that's their actual color, red, right? So, but read that right there. This is the proof of the rebirth and Renaissance.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 3, and verse 48. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images.
So look, the heathen opened up the books of the law and sought to paint the likeness of their images, right? So when you go into Europe and you look up, I don't know, anybody that's European. Let's say we look up King James, right? Y'all know who King James is? Huh?
Like the basic knowledge of like.
Okay, so what nationality or ethnicity would you say King James is? What color was it? White, right? That's how you believe. Because of what they just read. Did you know he was actually a black man? King James was a nigger. Right? I'm gonna show you. We got pictures of it. Y'all ever heard of Cambridge University?
Yeah.
This is a book from Cambridge University, right? Cambridge University is a very
Prestigious.
good school, a very prestigious university, right? They're like number 5 on the planet right now or something. Used to be higher than that. When this book came out, they were number 3. This is King James. Jacobus, Idumean, right? This is even before the letter J was invented. The letter J was invented in 1524. His name wasn't even James. It was Imex, right? Or Yams. So this is King James, right? This is who they would have you believe King James is today, though. This white guy. As you see, it's the same exact picture, same writing over it, but they recolored it, right? But they redid the picture. This is Renaissance, rebirth, right? Rebirth of new art. This is the new picture, Renaissance picture of King James. This is the original picture of King James, that same image, you see? And then, just to show you kind of how it went, oh, my bad. Let me see. So we even got, all right, so look. This is the original picture. This is in between them trying to change it because they had to do it within time periods. Couldn't all, like, with us being in the land, they couldn't just go from having a black picture to a white picture. People would get mad about that. So they had to do it in droves, kind of, right? So they start with the original. Once he dies, they make a mixed looking image of him. Then, after the mixed image, we end up with this one, right? Now, this is who you look up. When you go to Google, you don't get to see the black man in there, right? Google's made something called algorithms, which you guys will learn about when you get older. You probably know about them, anybody that's in tech or in the tech, right? So, this is before the algorithm came out on King James. They messed up. They have a black image of him and a white image of him, right? This one is the one who made the Bible. This is the one they want you to think is involved with the king and the church. This is actually King James, right here, right? The black man. So, He's just one example. There's a million people throughout history who they've done this to. They've changed the images to make you think that they're a different ethnicity than what they actually are, because they want you to think we were just people from Africa swinging around like Tarzan before they found us. Fact of the matter is,
interrupt y'all, bro.
no,
Kinda
you good.
short on time.
No, it's all good.
Y'all been here for a long
Yeah,
time.
you got you got our YouTube and stuff.
yeah.
If y'all want to learn more, just hit us up.
Before I go,
Yeah, what's up?
what is
It's a diadem in the Bible. The judges of the Bible get to wear crowns and stuff. Also, when Jesus, Mashiach comes back, he's supposed to place crowns on our head. So I'm a Native American. It's just a crown showing
Can I
that.
get a photo of you?
Yeah, go ahead.
You guys have special studies at the school?
We do for senior year, so for me,
They're astounded at our greatness.
Astonishment.
Astonishment.
Proverb in the Bible.
AHOS.